wrap it all around you. Won't be satisfied with just a piece of his heart. My angel, oh angel, you're my angel, oh angel. Dreams are dreams, some dreams come true. Found the real dream, baby, when I found you. You're so strong, you're tender too. My angel, oh angel, you're my angel, oh angel. Love like ours, heaven sent. Each day a day to remember. I feel so safe, feel secure with you, with you. You give me love, keep right on giving. Fill me up, baby, with the joy of living. When things get tough, I can always turn to you. You're my angel. Ooh. My angel. Yes, you are. You're my angel. Oh, love the way we touch, I love the way it feels. Every time you're near me, my
Yes,
poor
sir.
heart just won't keep still. No doubt about it that this love I feel is real. Ask me to go with you, you know I will. Hold me near, hold me tight. Only you can make it real, only you make it alright. Just let me know that I am special to you, my angel. Angel, you're my angel, you're mine. Oh, yeah. You're the best thing, yeah, ever come into my life. Hey, you're the best thing, yeah. I love you just because.
wanted to give y'all a little Layla Hathaway, right? That was a remix or a cover for the song Angel, right? And she added a little Anita Baker at the end. You're the best thing yet. That's the shit right there. So check it out, family. I'm not gonna be long because it's UFC fight night, and I'm about to get to these fights that's come on in like 10 minutes. But I was just checking out some information on Mediterranean people and the Egyptian coastline and the population of Egypt and where mainly they live and things of that nature. So what's up, Yosef Ben Israel? Man of color, what's happening with, man of no color, what's happening with you? Right, so I put my Cash App up here before I get started. I rarely like to ask for money, but I made a video saying I need you guys' help. And if you can donate $5, $10, $100 to Chief X so I can raise this $8,000 I need to pay my cannabis license fees and hire about 30 black folk. Yep, this is some real shit. So you guys can feel free to Cash App a brother. I'm just looking for some help along this journey to pay my invoices for the cannabis license for the state of California. And I got to raise $8,000. What's up, Dwayne Darmani? You called me Varian. You must be a Facebook friend. You know my first name. Xavier is my middle name, so the X is for Xavier. Xavier is what I go by. Family calls me Varian. Family and high school friends call me Varian. But friends post high school and just friends outside of family, everybody calls me Xavier or Chief X. So this ain't gonna be long. Thank you, Gamakichi. Gamakichi. Right. Yeah, so I just want to make this real brief. I just wanted to throw out some more information on who the Egyptians are, like literally, physically, and culturally. Listen to what I said. Literally, physically, and culturally, the ancient Egyptians are Mediterranean peoples. So it's been a big kerfuffle. What's up, Dwayne? You on my Facebook? Okay. So it's been a big kerfuffle of who the ancient Egyptians are. Are they African? Are they not African? Are they Middle Eastern? Are they Near Eastern? Are they Mediterranean? You know, they're all the above, if we want to just be honest. But see, I've been honing in on this Mediterranean title for a while. For one, because it's correct. It's right and exact. And for two, I like to piss off the Afrocentrics. Bottom line. When you call someone Mediterranean, it automatically excludes black folk. So I have an agenda for using the term Mediterranean. I want to stick it to some people. So I use the term Mediterranean for the Egyptians because that's exactly what the fuck they was. And I'm going to show and prove a little bit. So if someone asks me, what are the ancient Egyptians? My answer is they are Mediterranean people and they are also North African people. I don't just say African. I like to be specific and say North African people. Right? Like if I was talking about Cambodians are in Asia. I would like to say Cambodians are Southeast Asians. It gives clarity and specifies who and where they are on a huge continent. Nothing I say today can be disputed or debunked, and that's why they hate it. So if someone was to say, these people in Asia, people would be like, oh, confused and shit. Well, I mean, Asia's a big continent. There's different types of people and genetic variation all over Asia. Who the fuck is he talking about when he says these Asian people did this or did that? Who specifically? So when I talk about the Khmer people who built those stone images in Southeast Asia, I'm being specific. So when I say the Egyptians are North African, I'm being specific. They're Mediterranean, I'm being specific. I'm taking it away from you Afrocentrics and you thieves of history called Afrocentrics. You can no longer be that. You cannot be Mediterranean. That's why I use the word, to piss y'all off. And to make it clear that the ancient Egyptians and the modern day Egyptians are not you or related to you in any kind of shape, form, or fucking fashion. Asante gang, what's happening? West Side. Someone said West Africa for life. West Side, Asante gang. We banging, intellectually banging. Right? So check this out. Let me share my screen and get to this so I can get to my UFC fights. This ain't gonna be long. I'm gonna be not long, but strong. You get it? And y'all can tell I've been in the gym. I lost 10 pounds in my belly. My shit flat now. I've been on a little journey, a little mission, a little transformation mission. My shit been... And I lost weight. I look a little... Well, I don't look thinner, but I defined the muscle part more, and I lost the fat. You see it. You see it. Hey, and I'm repping that G-State, baby. We're going to do it tomorrow. No, I'm sorry. We did it yesterday. On our way to the Western Conference Champions, we waiting on these bums to get ready for us. Now, everybody know I'm a born Laker. I have two teams, the Los Angeles Laker, number one, which is God, and my second team is the Golden State Warriors, which is God's son, Jesus. Yeah, we family. We don't fuck with Sacramento Kings, and we don't fuck with the Clippers. The Lakers and Golden State Warriors is family. So I rep them two teams. No one in the world. Okay. Let's get to these daggers so I can shut this thing down. I said I titled the video. What did I title this video? Mediterranean. Egyptians are Mediterranean people. Part 3, I think. Because I didn't shut this conversation down. I just want to shut it down some more and put niggas further down in the dirt. You get what I'm saying? So let me share my screen and let's go. Let's prove to these people who need this type of education that who the ancient Egyptians are and who the fuck they ain't. Okay? Niggas got Mediterranean names and shit. Niggas names Asar, Imhotep, and Mujau, and Ankh-Kek, and they got their slave master's name and shit. You know what I mean? I made Ankh change his goddamn name. Now he calls himself Bobby Banger. Because when I went in on Black Egypt, yes, Ankh, I did make you change your name. It was me and nobody else. Because when I went in on Black Egypt and I started going in hard and shit, somebody started talking about what different things mean and what it don't mean. And Ankh definition came up from the shit is spun out from my course I was on and talking about. And Ankh changed his name to Bobby Banger. He didn't want to represent a Mediterranean name anymore. He got embarrassed when they had to break down what Ankh means. The nigga named himself, he didn't even know what the fuck it meant. See, I was gonna start giving you a pass, but I seen the other day you was on the Pseudo Killers channel talking that big shit, and you called me corny. You called me all kind of names. No, nigga, you corny. Y'all been getting. Matter of fact, let me just tell you who all been getting their ass busted. And they been getting their ass busted by the students. Ankh been getting his ass kicked all fucking year long, all last year long. Kofi Pie-Side and his team is getting their ass kicked right now. I told you, Kofi, these niggas don't give a fuck. I told you a long time ago, nigga, you took sides. Don't act like you don't take sides too, Kofi, because you've always taken sides. You've sided with the devil. I told everybody why me and Ankh fell out, and it was some egregious shit Ankh done, and niggas still took Ankh's side. Nigga, fuck y'all niggas, nigga. Take your motherfucking charge. I don't care who comes at your motherfucking head. Y'all come at my head all day long. All the cliques come at my head. So you niggas take your charge. You niggas should have done right when people was under the fire. You should have defended those people who were innocent like me. Chief X ain't started shit with not one person in the community. None of them niggas. They all done me dirty first. Trust and believe that. They just fronting like it ain't. And then they didn't influence a whole motherfucking ignorant a bunch of cowards and groupies to be against me too. Fuck you niggas too. You fake. Ben, you made a video today talking shit. Ben from the Mossad, you made a video talking shit. Nigga, fuck Any Harriet. Any Harriet is an asshole. I said I'm knocking Any Harriet's tooth out his mouth if I ever see him in person. And niggas gonna come to his defense, and Ben, you was one of them. You ain't gonna do shit, Ben. Nigga, you been an elitist. Gonna have the nerve and the audacity to come on live, go make a video today talking about, well, I usually don't go looking and watching the Pseudo Killers. I just went against my better judgment and I watched the video that the Pseudo Killers did. Nigga, shut the fuck up, you uppity son of a bitch. Nigga, you think you an elitist. You think you've always thought you were better than. Nigga, the Pseudo Killers, I'm not talking about all the Pseudo Killers, specifically Chevron and Corey been busting y'all ass. Chevron and Corey, not Ankh. Chevron and Corey been busting Kofi, the Pie-Side research team's ass. They've been busting Maasai Warriors class. They've been busting Amin-Ra squad's ass. Yep, Chevron and Corey has. Because these niggas is about the truth. They have no motherfucking agenda. They not trying to run some motherfucking line so they can make some hotep hustle a motherfucker. They about that truth. And they got integrity. All you other niggas got agendas. Ben, you a blackologist. I don't know why you're fronting. Because you side with all the blackologists. You side with all the master teachers who's been telling you everything is black. You niggas be fronting. So shut your ass up, Ben. Black Panther, shut your ignorant ass up. You ain't shit. You ain't better than, nigga. In fact, you went backwards. If you embraced a traditional African religion, nigga, you went backwards to some more primitive shit. And you think it's cute. Nigga, ain't nobody give a fuck about all that shit. You don't practice the culture, nigga. You live in America. You're a black American and you practice black American culture. You're just interested in a traditional African religion and you study it. All you niggas talk about you been initiated don't mean a motherfucking thing. But you're seeking attention. It don't mean you're better or you know more. It don't mean a motherfucking thing. I don't give a fuck who was initiated. That don't mean a motherfucking thing. Science rules the day, bitch. And science has the truth. No religion, no belief system, none of that shit. You niggas went backwards. Trying to attention seek. Niggas was in competition. I can be the most African. I'm that real African. Yeah, shut up. You guys are not Afrocentric. You guys only have a worldview from where the fuck you live, and you have an American worldview. Ain't none of you son of a bitches got some African worldview. How y'all like to shame people? Here, you should have a Eurocentric worldview, Eurocentric world. Shut the fuck up. All you bastards are black Americans, so you have a black American worldview. The way you see the world in politics, in culture, is from an American point of view. None of you niggas is Afrocentric. These are just cute fucking words that niggas made up over the decades. Cute shit. It's cute to say I'm a African-centered thinker. I'm into African-centered. You know you're not. Your ass barely been to Africa. You only run to North Africa, Egypt. Half you, 90% of you niggas ain't never been to West Central Africa. How you gonna have a African-centered worldview? I got the same worldview as my white neighbor or my Japanese neighbor or whoever else is in America. I have an American worldview, and I can admit that and be honest. I was never a citizen anywhere else but here. I done went off on a goddamn limb and shit and brought up all kind of shit I ain't supposed to be talking about. Let me get to showing this shit about the Mediterranean. Okay. Where we at? Okay, let me share my screen. Which I did. Okay, so let's just be clear. No one in the world. Ancient Egyptians were closely related to people who lived along the Eastern Mediterranean. The analysis showed. That's from the DNA testing and stuff they did of the ancient Egyptian mummies and stuff. They're related to them genetically, culturally too. We're going to get there. They also shared genetic material with residents of the Turkish peninsula at the time in Europe. Let's move on. And this article was breaking down the DNA of ancient Egyptian mummies reveals their ancestry. Let's move along. This is an article. Let me blow it up. Because people seem to have a problem because Egyptians and North Africans and stuff sometimes don't like to be called African. So fucking what? Let them call themselves what the fuck they want to call themselves. So what? They don't want to call themselves Africans. What the hell you niggas jealous about? You mean because they're racist? Because they don't want to be associated with you? Who gives a fuck? Let them claim to be what they want them to claim to be. They claim to be Mediterranean. Who is you black Africans to tell somebody they ain't Mediterranean? You black Americans gonna tell Mediterranean people what they are. The vast majority of the Egyptian population agree that they are Mediterranean people. They'll tell you they're Egyptian also, and they will tell you they're also North African, which the fuck they is. What are y'all mad at? This whole article and piece was a lady who done a whole research project on why the Egyptians didn't call themselves Africans and someone to call themselves Arabs or not Arabs. But they consider themselves North African, Mediterranean people. Those countries south of the Sahara have long been considered authentically African, while those to the north have been perceived as what? Mediterranean, Middle Eastern, or Islamic. They are that. Why would black Americans need to fight against what they consider themselves? If they consider themselves Mediterranean, Middle Eastern, and Islamic, let them be. They are correct. Demographics of Egypt. Well, let's talk about it. Egypt. Let me blow this up so you cats can see. I don't want you to miss nothing. See, when I do videos, nobody goes back and debunks my video. They talk over it or act like they don't exist. Every video I've made on this subject over the last year, no one has sat down and debunked it. I do theirs. I respond to anybody who tries to go against my shit I say, and I respond scholastically. What's this say? About 95% of the country's 102 million people live along the banks of the Nile and the Nile Delta, which fans out from north of Cairo along the Suez Canal. Gerald just told y'all the Nile Delta, listen to my wording, the Nile Delta is Mediterranean. At least about 90% of the Egyptians live close to the Mediterranean in big cities like Cairo, Alexandria. All that is the Nile Delta. The Nile Delta is the Mediterranean. So 90% of Egyptians live close to in the Mediterranean. So when Chief X says the ancient Egyptians and Egyptians are Mediterranean people, I'm 100% correct. These niggas is wrong because they hate the word Mediterranean, because the word Mediterranean excludes them. Why do 90% of Egyptians live close to the Mediterranean, all around big populated cities like Alexandria and Cairo, which is goddamn right on the Nile Delta, in the marshland? Because a lot of that shit down south is desert. It's barren. It's rural. People would rather live close to water than in the fucking desert. And it has always been this way in ancient Egypt and in modern Egypt. Listen to what I said. About 90% of the population lives close to the Mediterranean coast or the Nile Delta. There's nothing you can do about that truth. So they are Mediterranean people in North Africa. That's just what it is. You niggas are not Mediterranean. Let's go. What this say? We moving on. You're talking about the Nile Delta here. The Nile Delta. I didn't say the Nile River. The Nile Delta is situated in northern Egypt, where the river Nile reaches the Mediterranean Sea. The Nile is the longest river in the world. It originates near the equator and flows nearly 7,000 kilometers northward. The delta begins approximately 20 kilometers north of Cairo and extends north for about 150 kilometers. Then it goes on to talk about Alexandria, which is right there by the Mediterranean coast also. What this say? Hold on. Consequently, the delta is densely populated because they're not in the desert as much. Somewhat 50% of the Egyptian population, exclusive of Cairo, lives in the Nile Delta, which basically is the Mediterranean. Don't get me started. Okay? We got daggers today. Listen. Let me blow this up so you can see. Deltas are wetlands that form as rivers empty their water and sediment into another body of water. The Nile Delta, I'm saying the Nile Delta, wait a minute, let me just make sure I'm on this shit right. Let me make it smaller. I think I'm missing a few words. Okay. The Nile Delta, created as it empties into the what? Mediterranean Sea, as has a classic delta formation. The Nile Delta is the Mediterranean, basically, okay? The upper delta, influenced by the Nile's flow, is the most inland portion of the landform. The wide, low-lying lower delta is more influenced by waves and tides of what? The Mediterranean. It's influenced by the waves and tides of what? The Mediterranean. The Mediterranean influence on ancient Egypt and modern day in Egypt. Okay? What does it say about the Nile Delta, Chief X? Teach they ass. The Nile Delta is situated in the middle of Egyptian Mediterranean coastline. Stop the press. Stop the press. I told these niggas. I don't know why they're fighting this Mediterranean word so much, because they know Mediterranean word excludes them. But we're going to put this shit right out here. The Nile Delta is situated in the middle of the Egyptian Mediterranean coastline of approximately 1,000 kilometers. The delta shoreline consists of sandy and silty shores of greatly varying lateral configurations. The Nile Delta is suitable for intensive agriculture, and it supports what? 63% of the country's agricultural land. So 63% of the country's agricultural land is along the Mediterranean, or close to the Mediterranean, or in the Delta. I'm not making nothing up. I'm teaching. I'm the one who's right. Delta and lakes are economically support both a large fishery and many fish farms. Lake fisheries produce 182,000 tons, which is 12% of the nation's fish population. The Nile Delta is part of the world's most important migration routes for birds. God damn it, even the birds fuck around with the Delta in the Mediterranean for migration routes. Every year, millions of birds pass between Europe, Africa, along East Africa Flyway, and the wetlands areas of Egypt are especially critical stopover sites. It's the same reason that what? With the Egyptians? Papyrus in ancient Egypt. It's the same fucking place in the marshes in the Delta where the papyrus plant grew, that all the ancient Egyptians wrote on. All them different papyruses. The papyrus of Hunefer. The papyrus of this. All that papyrus came from the Mediterranean area, the Nile Delta. Keep that shit real. What does it say? A member of the sedge family, papyrus was an integral feature of the ancient Nilotic landscape, essential to that of ancient Egyptians in both practical and symbolic realms, right? Needing shallow, fresh water or water-saturated earth to grow. Dense papyrus thickets were found in the marshes of the Nile Delta. Them ancient Egyptians are Mediterranean people. And they were getting the papyrus out the Delta, out the Mediterranean, because they're Mediterranean people and always have been. Okay? Shut your mouth. Let's continue. Who else was all up in the papyrus reeds and shit? Gods like the cow goddess Hathor, hiding all up in the Delta marsh in between the papyrus. Hathor was in mythological stories. Okay? They were in the Mediterranean. And in the Mediterranean, Egypt does the most business amongst Mediterranean countries as far as trade and let's just go. Papyrus all in the Mediterranean. Everything that the Egyptians wrote on. Let's go. Okay, so right here is talking about Egypt has the largest most densely settled population among the Arab countries. Right? The total area of the country covers approximately 1 square. However, much of the land is desert, and only 7.7% of Egypt's area is inhabited. Motherfuckers don't fuck around in a desert like that. They go to where water is, and that's the Mediterranean in the Delta. That's why the majority of 90% of the ancient Egyptians, the modern day Egyptians, live closer to the Mediterranean Sea in the Delta. It says right here 7.7% of Egypt's areas is inhabited. Wait a minute, am I reading that wrong? Oh, okay, excuse me, I read it backwards. However, much of the land is desert, and only 7.7% of Egypt's area is inhabited. So 7% of Egyptians' deserts is inhabited by 7% of the population. Why? Because they're all closer to the Delta and the Mediterranean. With the largest part of the population residing in only 8% of the total land area. Let's move on. They tell you what Egypt is, right? It's bordered by the Mediterranean Sea, right? Let me make this smaller real quick. Egypt is considered to be a regional power in North Africa, the Middle East, and the Muslim world, right? Where is that? Hold on, y'all. Okay, so I can't find it. I may have not put the right screen up, but they will tell you ancient Egypt is what? Simultaneously North African, Mediterranean, and Near Eastern. Simultaneously. It's all that. Right here, a guy was just writing, what Mediterranean country does Egypt's culture most closely represent? Right? What Mediterranean country does Egypt's culture most closely represent? The closest is probably Syria. What? Their food is similar, but much better, in his opinion. We speak the same language through different dialects. The people kind of look similar. Though Syrians look more European and Egyptians look more African, both are majority Muslim countries with 10 to 20% Christian minorities and many other ethnic and religious minorities. Both are brutal totalitarian dictatorships with half Islamic, half secular governments and civil codes. Both also suffer from religious. So he's basically saying their food and they have similarities to Syria and other Mediterranean peoples, like I've been saying. That's why when I put up a Muslim Italian woman, you guys thought she was a North African woman. You guys guessed, oh, she's Moroccan. Oh, she's Tunisian. Nobody said she was Italian. Because you can't tell the difference sometimes between an Italian and a North African. They have similarities. Similar foods, because they are Mediterranean cultures, countries, and people. That's why you can't tell. They're in the same region, just like people look similar in the regions of West and Central Africa. There's a similar region with similar foods and similar cultures and similar beliefs. That's why they call it the Greco-Roman world. And guess who was in Egypt? The Greco-Roman world. They were all mixing and matching and doing the same bullshit. It's just what it is. What y'all talking about? Shoot me a donation. They got my Cash App. I'm trying to raise this $8,000. Would you say Neptune's Lagoon Mediterranean means Middle Earth to the Caucasians that named it? Basically, that's true. Tamara, just get the information. Don't debate nobody in the chat. Just pay attention to my teaching. Don't get in your feelings. Just focus for a minute. I'm just reading the comments. 1 second, y'all. Yeah, and it's just the reality. Africa was named for North Africa. And they named Africa. They was focused on North Africa, not Sub-Saharan Africa. See, I had people shook when I was teaching that North Africa has never, ever been Black Africa. Now, people are talking this shit like this is an old argument. And debating and arguing over the ancient Egyptians' race is an old argument. But let's be perfectly clear. In the so-called conscious community, as far as Black power folk and pro-blacks or whatever you want to name yourself, there's not one person who came against this Black Egypt BS except Chief X. No one in the Black American community in modern times has took on this fight except Chief X. You cannot find not one person in the conscious community that can predate this discussion before I made my Black Egypt debunk video a year ago. You won't find nobody predating me. So all these cats trying to act like this is some old argument, and I'm just, nope. You niggas is fronting. Nobody in the conscious community ever, except, I'm going to tell you who I was influenced by. The brother named Tribe of Shabazz, the guy who had the channel called Tribe of Shabazz. I'm not sure if his channel. Tribe of Shabazz used to kick some shit where he would hint at it. And I'd be like, damn, what is that? And he got books, and he put gloves on to read his books and to touch his books. He got gloves on. He's serious about his books. They are all in plastic wrappers. He's like real anal about his books. He influenced me when he was talking about Moors and shit like that. And besides him, no one is predating me. This is not no motherfucking old argument in the conscious community. Now, you guys have argued what words like Kim and shit means, and what does it mean, the black land or the black people, and that's not my argument. I'm not talking. No, I'm talking about the population and the people. I'm not talking about no motherfucking Kim. I'm not talking about no motherfucking hieroglyphs. I'm not talking about what black means in this language and etymology. I'm not talking about none of that shit. I'm strictly talking about black folk and who you not and who the Egyptians was not. This is not no fucking old. This is not an old argument. I am the only one. Matter of fact, you can't find nobody in this so-called conscious community, this black power community. You will not find nobody ever in decades who said what I said. And that is, North Africa has never, ever, 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 ever been black Africa. Nobody, you can't find nobody saying that prior to Chief X. Nowhere. And keep that shit real. I'm the author of this shit. In the conscious community, I got all these niggas' panties in a bunch. That these niggas has done over 1,000 hours on Chief X's claims and Chief X's truth. You know that's real. All these arguments that we've had over the year about indigenous slavery in Africa, I jumped them all off. And that spawned the argument about Queen Nzinga. That spawned the argument about the Dogon. I initiated all this shit that you niggas been talking about for the entire year. If anybody can show anybody in the conscious community teaching that North Africa has never, ever, ever, ever been black Africa, you get $100. You will not see it nowhere from nobody. I'm the author of that shit. I jumped that shit off. I got y'all streaming 1,000 hours about my truthful claims. They gonna try to act like but Chief X ain't the one who's starting to. Yeah, find one person who ever said North Africa has never been black Africa. You won't find that person. And I proved my point. DNA science backs me. DNA science backs me that the ancient Egyptians wasn't black. DNA is the end all be all. And that's why Wajaro and Asar Imhotep refused to have the DNA or genetics conversation about the ancient Egyptians. Out their mouth, they said they refused to have that conversation because it shuts them down. You can argue in court on both sides, and both sides have profound, deep arguments about who's convicted, who's not convicted, whether a motherfucker locked down, going through all these appeals. Nothing worked. Nothing got this motherfucker out of prison. All the arguments on both sides and nothing worked. All the appeals and nothing worked. Except when that DNA came back. Oh, fuck both sides of your argument. The DNA said this. Get him out. Release him. Pay him a couple $1 million for his suffering and pain for the years he did in prison. DNA exonerated him. He's out. Polite case. 6 semen stains was found on this 14-year-old girl by this grown-ass man, Polite. 6 semen stains. Nothing matters. And all them arguments that's going to go down on both sides is not going to matter. Them DNA and that semen on that bitch is king. I'm sorry. So I didn't mean to say that. The DNA found on this child's clothing, the semen, is king. It kills every other argument. DNA argument is king on top of it all. And we've read the genetic composition and the genetic makeup of Egyptians and North Africans. We've been through that. And it is not in sub-Saharan Africans' favor. It's not in black nappy head folks' favor at all. Somebody said semen is king. Semen can produce life. God damn it, it's king. The DNA argument kills every other fucking argument. I don't care if you had arguments piled up in archaeology, anthropology, or a language argument. I don't give a fuck about none of them arguments. The DNA argument is king. Cash App a nigga. Ain't nobody ever taught you this. Send a brother $5, man. I'm trying to start a black business and hire 30 black folk. Tamara, you're not an ancient Egyptian. Beauty 101. You're not related to an ancient Egyptian. You're not even, history is not even your subject. Science is not your lane. None of this shit is your lane or topics you care about. You're only here to insult and clown. You don't know this topic. You haven't even watched my videos called Black Egypt Debunked. So stop talking. You're the fucking coon because you prefer to miseducate black children. You niggas is the fucking coons. It's you blackologists, all you Afrocentrics, all them motherfuckers is the coons. They intentionally, on a daily basis for decades, miseducate black folk. Intentionally. I didn't say they're wrong or they're mistaken. I said they purposely and intentionally miseducate black folk and lie to black folk for financial gain. Them are the motherfucking coons. You don't get no blacker than me. Out of all these people, I'm probably the only one been to West Africa. Who's the fucking coons? Them niggas who ran to North Africa and Egypt are the fucking coons. I represent West Side, West Africa. That's why I said Asante gang. Them niggas is worshiping Mediterranean gods and shit. They names of Mediterranean gods. At least my name is Chief X. Because we got a village chief in West Africa. I'm Chief X. I'm the chief of this cyber village. Oh, yeah, dude. Yeah, Asiatics been going in and out North Africa, Egypt, or the Mediterranean for 30,000 years. We ain't never, ever been up there in history. You can go back 40,000 years, and we weren't there. I don't know I don't know why niggas thought they was in North Africa. You got these Hebrew Israelites, and you got these Egyptomaniacs, and both of them are dead wrong. None of them are from that area or native to that area. There weren't even any blacks there in them times. Unless you was a worker, a slave, or some kind of serf or peasant doing work for them. Nubians was even bringing slaves to the Caucasian King Tut for tribute, bowing down and worshiping King Tut, who was a fucking Caucasian, a West Asian. We've had that discussion. I showed and proved that. These Nubians, who were considered less than, was bowing down and giving honor in processions and buck dancing and bootlicking to Caucasian King Tut and Caucasian Queen T. I'm sorry. When I say nappy head, nappy is not negative. See, Tamara's Beauty One, you look at nappy as being a negative word. I'm nappy as fuck, and I've always been nappy, and I'm a proud nappy motherfucker. That's just the word I like to use. So, again, it's you who see that shit as negative. That's why you repping something else other than your own people. Yeah, all 100% of West Central Africans is nappy as fuck. Ain't no loose curly hair. Nah, niggas be talking that shit. Oh, black people, Africans hair coming all kind of textures and bullshit. I've been to Ghana. Ain't no straight loose curly hair Ghanaians. Them is all nappy. All through West Central Africa, nappy, nappy, nappy. Ain't no straight or loose curly hair. If you got straight or loose curly hair, that means you're admixed. And you got some white folk up in you. If black Americans don't have nappy hair, it's because they're admixed. We don't come with loose curly hair. We not Nubians, we not Egyptians, we not Mediterraneans, we not North Africans, we are tropical fucking Africans. Get back down where that green is. You're not no desert African. We are tropical Africans. Tropical Africans are nappy head Africans. Yeah, but see, people don't have to claim to be Africans, but when they get mad at me debunking Black Africa, that means they are used to think they were related in somehow, and this information just fucks with their mind, and they go crazy and they get the insult and shit. That's what you do. Oh shit, Wab Funk here? That means it's some bullshit up in the chat. If Wab Funk is here. Yeah, Tamara, you gotta listen better. This is the problem, listening. I said, if you're a black American with smooth curly or loose curly hair, it means you're admixed. My lady friend got loose curly hair. She's admixed. She has, 15% European in her. A lot of y'all have 25% European in you from the slave trade. And sometimes those attributes may express themselves more in some people rather than other people. So that's why my girlfriend's hair is kind of loose curly, because it expresses itself more in her than it would me. You can go to them tribes with them cows and the Dinka tribes and all that. You will not see one loose curly haired Dinka tribe member, or Maasai clan member, or Cameroonian, Nigerian, Ghanaian. Ain't no loose. They all straight hardcore nappy. Black Americans get this shit confused because they admix and got some loose curly. Nope. Them sub-Saharan Africans do not have no loose curly shit. They're nappy. And nappy is not an insult. It's just what the fuck it is. All right, y'all. It's UFC time. Can y'all send a brother a cash app? Damn, ain't nobody giving you this real shit and this genuine information. Everyone else is lying to you and miseducating you. If I ask for a donation of money, it's for a real reason. I just told you I'm about to hire 30 black folk. And I just obtained my cannabis license for a delivery service and another license for a distribution center. We're going to have major black staff. One of the only black-owned distributors and delivery services in California. There are some, but they're rare, and I'm one of them. So this is an industry y'all can help out in and help us thrive. That's my cash app, $ Chief X5. Asante tribe, all them tribes all throughout West, they're not loose curly hair. It would be a fucking miracle if you found a straight hair or loose curly hair West African. It would be such an anomaly. G-State, Golden State, represent. I'm out, y'all.